So if we start here, well, the value of f is negative. If we move to here, the value of f is still negative, but it's getting closer to 0, right? Now if we go to here, the value of f is positive. And if we go to x4 here, the value of x is positive and even further from 0 than this one was, right? So here, from here to here, we're getting closer to 0. From here to here, we're getting further from a point where x equals 0, right? Okay? Okay, so is there a point? Well, let's just do this. We'll use green chalk. Okay, if I move to here, what can you tell me about f of x for this point?
It's negative, but closer than.
It's negative, but
x2.
closer to being a 0 than this is, right? The value of f is closer to 0. So, you know, we can project down here and we can see that, okay, that's going to be closer to 0, right? And what if we look at a point here?
It's positive, but closer.
It's positive, and it's closer to 0 than any of the other positives were, right? Okay? So, is there some point in between here where you'd get 0? Okay? Okay, well, not 0, but negative, but closer than the others, right? Other negatives. Not 0, but closer to 0 than any of the positives, right? So you would expect that if we keep moving, closer and closer to this point, our results are still going to be negative, but they're going to be getting close to 0, aren't they? And if we do the same thing up here, well, we're going to get points that are closer and closer to 0. What's going to happen if we keep getting closer and closer to this point? From the left, these numbers are going to get closer and closer to 0, aren't they? They're going to be negative, but they're going to get smaller and smaller. And if we approach from the right, they're going to be positive, but they're going to get smaller and smaller. Right? So that's kind of an important picture. Really an important picture if you have calculus in your future. This being a pre-calculus course, we assume that you do. Although there's plenty of important stuff you learn in pre-calculus that's still important if you don't take calculus. And ability to read a graph is one of them. Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, I think we're seeing it. It's somewhere on that shoulder. Bingo. This point is where the value of the function becomes 0, because this is on the graph. It's also on the x-axis, so that when we project over here, look at what we've got. Okay? Very important picture. So, now I'm having trouble bringing my arm up to there from this angle. I was swimming yesterday, breaststroke, and I just did a thrust outward, and all of a sudden there was a pain in my shoulder. And I could keep going, but I decided to be smart, and I stopped. And then I noticed last night the shoulder was stiff, and it felt pretty good this morning, but it's getting stiff again. So I might be crippled, but probably not, probably just some stupid little thing. I never felt that one. Didn't feel like a bad one. Okay, anyhow, I'm having trouble writing here. Now, I don't want to write here. This is where I want to write. What am I going to do? Maybe I'll just suffer and try. Okay, so maybe I'll hold my arm. So that muscle isn't trying to. whatever it is. Okay, so,
Do you need someone to help you?
Let's go right.
and that's not what I wanted to say. I'm distracted, and I'm sorry. From the left, values approach 0. Through negatives, okay? There's more I want to say, but I got to grind it up higher. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, approaching the x-intercept from the left, the values of f of x approach 0 through negative values, right? Because now we've gone here, 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 here. The closer we get to this, the closer our values get to 0. Okay? And approaching from the right, again, we also approach 0, right? Okay? So,
He's like, I don't need this. I like saying kind of.
from the right, we approach 0 through positive values, okay? So, at the intercept, and at the x-intercept, because that's what we're approaching, we do get the value 0.